Welcome back for part 4 of What If Ahsoka Went Back in Time to Save Anakin. Thank you for your support on the first 3 parts of this What If. If you haven't seen any of those, the links will be in the description below. The Dark Lord of the Sith descended upon the Red Sands and breached the harsh desert terrain to a secret droid factory located near the Petranaki Arena. A Geonosian scientist greeted Sidious and beckoned him inside, showing him their new project, which was to create a battalion based around the cyborg General Grievous. The first experiment had been a relative success, as it had taken the combined efforts of 3 Jedi to defeat it, and now many more were on their way. Elsewhere, Obi-Wan and Anakin had been tracking the signal from the beacon attached to the corpse of Grievous. As the Jedi descended into the familiar rocky plains of Geonosis, they sensed a dark presence, much darker than what they had felt when they had encountered Dooku. Obi-Wan reports the news to the Council, and they dispatch Luminara Unduli and their own clone legions. The reinforcements quickly arrive, and they close in on the signal when the ground began to shudder. The Jedi and clones take a step back to a taller rock, just in time to avoid the floor collapsing, as rocks spewed in all directions from a large explosion. The Republic forces shield themselves, and after the dust had settled, they are greeted with an entire droid army, and the buzzing of the Geonosian hive army. Watching as a shuttle disappeared from above the factory, the Jedi knew they had stumbled upon a secret Sith activity. The vast scale of the Separatist army was a large obstacle, and the Jedi utilised their low-altitude gunships to fire from the skies and take out the droids. On the ground, the Jedi and clones used as much light as possible to blind the Geonosian hive, then carved their way through them and entered the complex. As Anakin led the way, something felt amiss, and he is projected backwards by a massive blast from within. The Jedi Knight woke up later on, with Obi-Wan standing over him, ordering him to get up and take a look through the ruins. The Jedi find several broken pieces of General Grievous scattered across the area, and the Jedi are worried that Grievous was not the only one of his kind. Their fears are soon realised, as a transmission comes through from the Jedi Council, and it is of the real Grievous, capturing Ahsoka Tano, demanding for the return of the Kyber crystals in exchange for a life to be spared. The Jedi want to go straight for Ahsoka, but oddly, it is Anakin who wants to wait. Anakin and the 501st Legion head to Coruscant, whilst Obi-Wan and Master Unduli await a decision from the Jedi Council. Anakin soon arrives at the doorstep of the Jedi Temple, and running inside, he orders his legion to position themselves around the perimeter of the temple, in case the Separatists try to attack, and Anakin went to the missions room. There the Jedi Knight is surrounded by several members of the Council, and sees a slightly different hologram of Ahsoka. The Jedi Padawan is pinned to the floor by the foot of Grievous, and Dooku looked smugly alongside them. However, Anakin was focused upon Ahsoka's hands, which were making gestures towards them, and Yoda deciphers the message to finally reveal to them that Palpatine had to be captured so that the Kyber crystals could not be taken. The Jedi look at each other in confusion before it dawned upon them that the Kyber crystals were to be used for new lightsabers for the army of cyborgs, and that they needed the blood of Ahsoka. Whilst the Kyber crystals are safe, so would Ahsoka, and Yoda allows Anakin to join Obi-Wan, whilst all the Jedi defended the temple from potential intruders. The Jedi Knight entered his starfighter with his faithful droid R2-D2, and the hologram of Obi-Wan appeared, giving the coordinates of Grievous's new flagship to his Padawan learner. Anakin's quick route through the galaxy is matched by a squadron behind him, and they rendezvous inside Obi-Wan's cruiser. The Jedi Master outlines the plan of attack on the Dreadnought, using a similar strategy they had used in destroying the Malevolence, by moving one squadron to draw the fire of the turrets, and another to infiltrate the ship. Only this time, the target would be to rescue Ahsoka. As they swoop through the Separatist fighters, the mission for Ahsoka began. Back on Coruscant, Grandmaster Yoda dispatched Master Windu to keep an eye on Palpatine, when he received a disturbing transmission from the Master of the Order. After searching the Senate building, his office, and the 500 Republica building, Palpatine was nowhere to be found, and Yoda walked outside to search for answers. As he watched the clones patrolling the area, Yoda stared in horror, as he knew where Palpatine had gone. That is it for part 4 of What If Ahsoka Went Back in Time to Save Anakin. If you'd like to see a part 5 soon, please like this video, turn on your notification bell, subscribe to this channel and my other channel What If Films for more what ifs. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd like to see next and how I can improve my videos. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.